Hello!
Hi!
Welcome to Intertwined Stitches. I'm Stephanie, also known as XCO Mom on Ravelry.
I'm Lakshmi, also known as Knitter by Nature.
And welcome. Thank you so much for coming and checking us out, or coming back if you came last week, so double thank you.
Yes, last week was episode 1, so this week episode 2.
And today is woohoo! And today is August 18th. It's also my mother-in-law's birthday. Happy birthday, Linda!
Happy birthday!
Love you! Yeah, summer is almost over. We have 1 week before the kids go back to school. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or dreading it.
I know, because you'll miss your little boy.
He's kind of my peacekeeper. He's the 6-year-old, and I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. And, sorry, I'm sticking and falling off my chair. And he breaks up their fighting. Like, no, guys, let's play, let's get along, let's just give that back to Owen.
So you won't have a peacekeeper anymore.
No. Mommy will have to be the enforcer. I will no longer be the peacekeeper. But he starts first grade, and it's a little bittersweet. You guys going into...
middle school, 6th grade.
Wow.
So it's going to be the same school, but it's going to be a little bit tougher, as every year usually is.
Yeah.
And we got all set up last week. We went clothes shopping, school supply shopping, so we're all set and just waiting for the day. He's not all set, but I think I'm ready.
And for those of you who live in Connecticut and are not on the ball and have not gotten school stuff yet, this week, today starts tax-free week. So for school supplies and clothes under a certain dollar amount. I don't buy my kid $500 shirts, so it doesn't affect me to not.
Right.
So, my mom, his grandmother, and my aunt, who is his grandma Titi, are sending him. They went shopping today and got a ton of school stuff, clothes. They are sending him his backpack, and he's very excited to get that package in the mail. So is Mommy. Thank you. So... we've got that to look forward to.
Yeah, my boy has a birthday this week, so...
oh, hey!
Yeah.
When's that?
It's on Thursday.
Happy birthday, Zadie.
Yeah.
He'll be 12?
He'll be 11.
11. Gotcha. I thought he was already 11. He's a very mature young man.
Okay, so...
anyways, you've got a couple finished objects.
I do.
I've got a couple finished objects.
I'll start with my button-up fingerless gloves by Lynette McPherson. These I knit out of Knit Picks Imagination, which is a nice merino alpaca nylon blend in the Wild West colorway. And I used US size 2 needles, 2.75 millimeter. And they're all finished except for weaving in all the ends. There's a lot of ends because every little button takes a separate piece of yarn. But I'll try them on for you.
They're really pretty. I like that it didn't flash or pool and the colors just kind of mellow together.
I think they came out really great. They're really comfortable and warm and soft.
Now, did you put the buttons in the exact same order on both of them?
I didn't. I mixed them up.
Nice.
So, yeah.
A little quirky.
Completely different.
I like it.
I left the same button out. I had a package of 12 and I ended up using 11 for each hand. So it's the exact same buttons. And they're so me. I love them so much. So I'm going to get a lot of use out of these this winter. They're not going in the gift pile. Not these ones.
In case you guys don't know, it gets pretty chilly in Connecticut, so she'll definitely use them.
Yeah, especially driving to work. I think these will be really handy for that. And I have one more finished object. This only took me a couple hours, and that is the Aviatrix hat by Justine Turner. This was knit out of Karen Simply Soft. And I used needles size US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter, and US 8, which is a 5.0 millimeter.
And that is for the charity that we were featuring this week.
It was.
That is the Click for Kids, or Click for Babies.
Clickforbabies.org. We put up a post on the Ravelry board about charities that we could knit for, and one of the charities is to bring awareness to shaken baby syndrome.
Yes.
And what you can do is knit a purple hat, but
Or crochet.
Or crochet. And be sure to read the guidelines first, because I knit this before reading that you should not attach a strap or buttons or tassels or pom-poms or anything like that that could pose a choking hazard. So this will have to go in the gift box. So for a little newborn baby.
And then I'll show one of my finished objects is also a hat for that group, or for that charity. I just crocheted this. I saw a pattern on Ravelry. It's very similar. I didn't look at it. I was like, oh, that'll be cute, so I'll do that. And so I just, out of my head, did what I thought it should be done. So I did this out of Vanna's Choice. It's got a little knot on the end, which I think should be okay because it's crocheted into it. It's not going to come off. Yeah. So there's that. I think it's a nice masculine-y purple. My husband disagrees. He doesn't think the nurses would put this on a boy, but
I think
whatever.
It's unisex.
It's for charity. Maybe they will. So there's that. It's tiny and wee and adorable. And my next finished object is not tiny or wee or, well, I guess it's kind of adorable. I like it. I finished my sweater.
Yay!
My Lighthouse Keeper's wife sweater. I have woven in the ends, but I haven't blocked or washed it yet, so I haven't clipped them. So here it is. It's got a hood, and I made long sleeves. Some of them, they do it sleeveless, and then there's asymmetrical points in the front. So I'm really excited about having finished my first adult garment. So excited. And I warned my husband, this is not machine washable. Do not ever put this in the washing machine for penalty of your life. Mm-hmm. So, because when I went to weave in the ends, some of the ends were like felted together already.
Oh, wow.
So it's like super felty. And this was out of baritone in the Hawaiian Oceans colorway. Sure. So it's a nice, pretty, bright, tealy blue. I like it.
And the color's pretty accurate on the screen there. We're using a different camera this week, so
yes,
you might notice a difference, hopefully in a good way.
Hopefully. Some people said that we were a little blurry, so we switched up cameras, so we'll see. Hopefully this one's better. Yep.
And I am wearing my first ever adult garment. This is the Gemini that was featured in Knitty.com by Jane Richmond, and I knit it in Knit Picks Cotton in the Surf colorway. And I really love how it came out. I finished it this spring, and I've been getting a lot of wear out of it. The only thing that bothers me is the top can go off my sleeve sometimes, go off my shoulder a little bit. But other than that, it's really comfortable, and really happy with it.
It's very pretty too. I like the color. It's like a sea foamy. Very pretty. What you working on?
Now I'm working on my Pear Key ankle socks. And these are knit out of Knit Picks Stroll in the bear color, which I over dyed in a peacock colorway that I dyed myself. And this is a sock recipe that I have up on my project page. Just kind of bits here and there from different books, and I put it on my project page so that next time I could replicate it. Mm-hmm. Because this seemed to be a good ankle sock for me.
Like a compilation of other patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. And I love that you named it Pear Key, because that's exactly what I think of when I look at it.
Yeah, good. I thought it was fitting. And the other thing that I've been working on is the Tuscan Sunflower Shawl by Jeffrey Honeycutt. Knit out of Knit Picks palette in Merlot Heather and Turmeric Heather. This is knit on size US 6 needles, 4.0 millimeter. And I've made a bit of progress. I did have to go back and rip out some. And then I caught back up, and then I had to rip back more. But then I caught back up. And now I'm putting lifelines like every 1.5 inches or so. Just to make it easier on myself. But you can start to see the petals.
For sure.
Hold it up to the screen a little bit. I think it's coming out beautiful.
It definitely looks like a sunflower.
It's starting to look like a sunflower, so I'm very happy with it. And the pattern's really not that hard. It's just, you know, things happen. You know, you forget a yarn over, or you drop a stitch. There's no way to fix it, so that's a good thing about lifelines. And it was really kind of exciting to take it off the needles, because I was able to open it up and see how big it's getting. And this
I'm sure
is
it's huge.
I just started the second skein of the turmeric color, and there's 4 of these, so it's going to be quite big.
Wow.
So that's that.
How many chart repeats are there?
There's like 6 right
And
now.
how many do you have done? 6, and there's
How many charts? Or
yeah,
how
many total?
Oh, 4 charts. I'm on chart B.
Wow, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be amazing. All right. What am I working on this week? I swatched for my Ginny cardigan while I was doing a virtual knit night. Hi, ladies. It was super fun. The first one I've ever done, and it was a lot of fun. I went to one of my other groups that I'm very active in. I'm like, we have to do a virtual knit night because it was so much fun and I want to talk to you. So I did this swatch out of my Queensland tweed, the rustic tweed. It is merino, alpaca, Donegal, and I keep forgetting that the neps are supposed to be in there because the only time I've ever worked with neps is when I'm spinning, and I constantly pick those out. So I'm knitting along and I kept picking them out. I'm like, no, they're supposed to be in there. It's tweed. But anyways, I did not get gauge on the size 6, which it recommends. I was very bummed about that. But then I did another half swatch out of a 7, and I got gauge. So pretty soon I will be casting that on. I'm guessing today I'll cast on.
Really knit up nicely.
I really like the fabric that it made, and it's really nice yarn. I really like it. I had debated returning it and exchanging it for something else because I'm like, well, I'm not in love with it, but now that I knit with it, I really do like it. And that is going to be the Ginny cardigan, which has this, yeah, I'm not showing anything, amazing owl thing down the spine. It's very pretty. I'm very excited, but I'm also a little nervous because I'm not the world's greatest lace knitter, and it's lace. So I'm hoping that it's easy enough. It looks fairly beginner friendly.
Yeah, just try it and make sure you use lifelines.
Yeah. And if not, come to Lakshmi. She'll help me. And then I wanted something fun, and I saw this sitting in the bottom of my one knitting bag, so I bought this to make socks when we were at Webb's last time? Yeah, last time we were at Webb's when we went and took our class. Sorry, it fell on the floor. So I'm going to call these my Bright Sunshiny Day socks. They are out of Knit Cole Trends by Audria Phil. So it is crazy stripy, and the stripes are not consistent. Like, you have no idea. The next one could be a different color than it was last time, or it could be a different width. So that's what it's doing. I'm doing the heels and toes out of Dolce Merino. And you might ask, isn't that a DK? Yeah, I know. I'm knitting on size 3s anyways because I want the heels and toes to be extra tough because I'm a little rough on socks. So I want them to last. And that is a merino nylon blend. And that's my bright yellow. And so I'm knitting those on my Addy Turbos. Fixed on a size 3. So there they are. My little stitch marker I made. And
it's going to be fun to watch how it stripes up.
Yeah, it's definitely like, what's next? I have to keep knitting because what's next? And what did the Stockinette zombies call that? Potato chip knitting, because you're like, I gotta have one more. I gotta see what else is next. And the only other thing I worked on this week is my Color Affection numero 2. Trilingual. Number 2. I haven't done a whole lot on it because I was finishing up a sweater, and I got sick this week. I had a really nasty cold, which started last week when we started recording. I'm sure you noticed me sniffing,
a little bit.
sniffling. But I had a really bad cold. It hit me Wednesday, but my wonderful husband brought me home a giant box of Kleenex and medicine and juice and soup. So he was pretty cool. Anyways, back to the Color Affection. Yep, I have like 10 more rows, I think. before I switch to my next color. The first color is Knit Pick Stroll Tonal in the Pearlescent colorway, which is like an off-white and grayish, like a silvery-ish. And then my middle section is going to be the Stroll Tonal in the Deep Waters. And it is blue and purple, navy blue. It's very pretty. And then my pop of color at the bottom, my ka-chow, is Kramer yarns that somebody dyed in what they call the Leslie colorway. And it is screaming hot pink and purple. And I love it to pieces. So that's going to be my color affection. And I really like knitting this pattern. The one I wore last week was my first completed, no it wasn't, but it was my first really, I fell in love with it shawl. The other ones were all gifts. They were Hitchhikers, another pattern I love. But I just love the color affection. I love knitting it. I love wearing it. I don't know, it's just garter stitch, but something about it I just find soothing.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm knitting one too, and you'll see that in upcoming episodes.
Nice.
Stay tuned.
Yes, please come back. You got any spinning?
I didn't bring it because it's not really much to show. I'm still spinning on my Ashland Bay Merino in the maroon color. And I'm just spinning that really thin. And I realized why I don't have any spinning mojo is because it's just a solid color.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm just having difficulty. I'm kind of bored with it now. So, but I sat at the wheel a little bit this morning. So I'm trying to get it done so I can work on my next spinning.
I found that the same happened to me whenever I bought a sweater's worth of yarn, about 2 pounds of really pretty Ashland, I think it's Ashland Bay purple. And yeah, after like 3 or 4 bobbins full, I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is gonna take me a lifetime.
Yeah, so I'm so used to dyeing, spinning with a hand dyed.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping,
It's fun.
because I'm so excited. I got on the Knit Girls SpinZilla team. So excited!
Yay!
So I'm gathering up all my roving, everything, because it's a big competition. We're on a team. There's 25 of us, and we're in a competition against a whole bunch of other teams. And as Leslie called us, the underdogs, because the other teams are like big name teams, like Team Shacked and Team whatever else. I'm not even sure. But it's to see who can spin the most yardage in singles in a week. It starts October 6th through October 13th. And I'm really excited. I've been practicing my wheel. I'm like, gotta go. So I've been working very hard on my Hulk bat that I got from Hog Wild Fibers. I'm almost done. I've got like this much of a bright green chunk left to do. But here's this part, and something tragic happened at the bottom. I lost my end, and then whenever I went to find it, it got all tangled in there, and I said, I don't have time for this, I have to keep going. So I picked up another bobbin, and I'm spinning the rest of the green on here.
That's so pretty. I love that green.
Apparently I have no directional aptitude when it comes to a camera. I was going to two-ply this with the purple, but then I thought that with the purple and brown being plied together, it would just look muddied, it would wash out the really pretty colors that it is. So I decided I'm just going to Navajo ply this.
I think that's a good plan.
And I don't know what it's going to become. I was thinking it might make a good shawl, because I think even after I ply it, it's still going to be pretty small sport at most, because it's really thin. And that's on my Ashford Traditional, which I just got at the beginning of summer, so it's still kind of new to me, and it's my baby and I adore it. And if you can see, this is my old girl. She is a country craftsman, and she's kind of retired, but I still love looking at her, so she stays down here in my craft room. She's a beauty. My mom got that for me when I first started spinning. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I'm going to try and clear out some bobbins and get some of those placeholder bobbins, whatever they're called, disposable bobbins, so that I can spin my little heart out in October. I want to do you proud, Leslie and Laura. Yep. Do you have any stash enhancement?
I don't this week, no.
I do. My stash behind me was calling out, feed me. So I was at the store shopping for something else at our local Walmart, which I know a lot of people don't like Walmart. It's the devil, whatever. It's still cheap. I have 3 boys. So we were there getting stuff, and this called out to me. I've never tried it before. It's the Lion brand Heartland. And I got 3 skeins of this, enough to make a sweater for my 2-year-old. It's 5 ounces, and it's like 230 yards in this beast, and it feels really nice. It's 100% acrylic, which I know a lot of you are like, where, but it feels really nice, and it has a really pretty heatheriness to it.
It's almost like a marbled effect.
Yes, it's really nice, and he's really tough on clothes. He's a 2-year-old, so the acrylic will wash nicely.
And hopefully you'll finish knitting it before he outgrows it.
Yes. The last sweater I made for him, he is an eater. He eats everything in sight. This morning, he was eating a plum. I try to feed him healthy because he is constantly eating. He's eating a plum, and I had a banana. And he came over with his plum and his waffle for his breakfast in his hands, and he's like, Nana. I'm like, you have 2 fistfuls of food. And he still ended up walking away with my banana. Anyways, so I finished his sweater the last time, and I went to try it on him, and it was too small already. I am not the world's fastest knitter. I admit that. I am not a fast knitter. But still, all that work, and it was already too small.
And do you have an idea what pattern you're going to knit this time?
I don't. So if anyone has any suggestions, please post them to me or message them to me or whatever. He's 2 and wears 24-month 2T, but I would like it to be 3T so that he doesn't outgrow it 2 minutes after I'm done with it. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. It can be knit or crocheted. I do both. So let me know if you have any suggestions. In that vein of thought, we are going to do our first giveaway.
Yay!
Prizes! So let me try not to get too close. I'm going to give away 2 skeins. You want to hold one? The Salvia. It's 100% merino. It's really pretty maroon and like a gold and some Kelly greenish. Not quite Kelly greenish.
Like a jade green?
Yeah, maybe jade. Good call. And we're going to give these away. 1 prize. And what we want you to do, we're going to post a thread, the prize thread, and we're going to ask you to give us any suggestions that you might have for our show.
What would you like to see in the podcast, or what kind of improvements can we make?
What do you like about the show? What do you think we could change? You could just say, hey, I saw you guys on the show. Good job. And that
would count, yes.
So, if you want to win these, they're really nice. They would make probably a pretty good shawl. They're 190 meters. Math is not my thing, so I'm not about to convert. But there's 2 skeins of 190 yards. It's enough for socks, or maybe a shawl of your choice.
A shawlette.
Yeah, a shawlette. So there's that. So go ahead and post that on the thread.
And another thread I'll be opening is one about Instagram. I just started using Instagram, and I'm kind of excited about it, but I'm not following many people now. So I'd really like to get to know some users that are posting knitting content like I will be. So if you want to follow me on Instagram.
If you have yarn porn, she wants to see it.
My username is Knitter by Nature over there. And I'll open up a thread, and you can post your name so that other people can follow you, and you can find other people to follow.
Also, if you want to include in there, I have a Kindle Fire, and I have the Instafire app, which lets me see and search for people, but it doesn't let me upload pictures. So if you have a Kindle Fire and you have an app that's really good for uploading your pictures, please please post that too. Because I would like to join along. I'm on there. I can see all the yarn porn, but I can't post any of my own.
We want to see what you got.
Right. You can see some of it. So, check us out on our Rav board.
Yeah, please join the group.
Yes. If you're watching, join the group. We know all of you that are watching are not in the group.
You must be a member of the group to win the prize.
Right.
So make sure you join and enter to win the lovely sock yarn, and chat it up over there, and we would be happy to hear anything you've got to say.
So,
until next time.
Thanks for coming.
Happy knitting.
Happy knitting.